All right, from NBob Hill Bowl in Yakima, we're here for the title match of today's JBT event in the scratch division. Tanner Spacey having a career day here in his young JBT career, looking to win title number 2. He's got a tough customer and probably the hottest bowler on tour right now. It's Tristan Curtis. But that was a little exclamation there, as that ball was dead left, dead fade, and had some weird messenger rip out the 4-pin from that rack. My goodness.
Tristan did that a couple of matches ago, that same exact shot when he needed a strike. So
that was an early double for him right there. Tristan also struck in his first frame, so we are perfect so far. Tristan, no stranger to high-scoring title matches. We'll talk about that. Oh, wow, he goes right in the pocket and stones a 7-pin. Yeesh. As much as we deservedly have talked about Marshall and Cameron and Tyler and Perry, you know, the last year out here in the Northwest Conference, very quietly, Tristan Curtis has been beating all of the above the last few months or so. It started really at the TPC and hasn't stopped since then. Beat Marshall at TPC, beat Cameron to win Acme to start the year, and Marshall again. It's
a great spare shooter, keeps the ball in play most of the time, doesn't get himself into too big of trouble, plays the lane pretty straight.
So also catapulted him to 7 career titles already, one of the quieter 7-time winners also. Winning 5 titles on our tour is sort of a sign of greatness. Winning 10 is superstardom, and he's trying to get beyond halfway to 10 here. See that very low crouch, 6 or 7 quick steps, great knee bend and follow through. 10 of the pit. I think we're going to see a lot of those X's here, Evan, as the shots held up pretty well all day today. Bowled on the Kegel Bourbon Street pattern, which is essentially a variable of house. A lot of length and oil in the middle, a lot of friction to the right.
Well, Tanner doesn't shoot 180, he'll shoot 240.
Yeah, that's been the story for Tanner today. He had 2 180 games to open up the semis and gave the lead back. Actually had a 3-way tie for the lead after game 6, which was rare, and then recaptured the lead with the 240 game 8 to go plus 330 for his 8 games today. But he really did his damage in the first 5 today, going plus 280. That's a 256 average for his first 5 games, with a low game of 240 in qualifying. So he just clocked
that was kind of up there in the highest qualifying, or?
Yeah, plus 324 is our all-time record. And anything 280 or higher is nearing the top 10 range. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but it's one of the better ones for sure.
Is that coffee full, do you think?
I don't know. That one?
Yeah.
It's mostly full. It's hot. You think about what it takes to go plus 300. An 800 series for 3 is plus 200. Then you got to find a way to go plus 100 again for your next 2, and you're still 24 pins shy of the scoring record. So to set these high scoring records are pretty phenomenal. See that deep inside shot as he's followed the oil left throughout the day. Tons of rotation on the hands. And are you kidding me?
I think so. Marshall went 302 over one time in the Northwest. Is that right?
Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it.
I think that rings a bell, because
you say Marshall getting high scores, I wouldn't be surprised.
60 average.
Meanwhile, the bowling gods giveth and taketh away, as they gave him a nice break on that 4-pin, and then a horrible break with the pocket 7-10 there.
Oh, he says something about a roll.
We've still never had a 7-10 converted on JBT TV. Let's see if it's now.
Oh, he's got a chance.
Dang it, another
the pins don't really pop out over here.
Haven't seen too many pop outs today. Meanwhile, we got the Women's Series title match going on. Michaela Douglas looking to win her 2nd Women's Series title match, taking on the handicap division runner-up in Jessica Bubnich. There she is. There's the familiar form of Michaela. That's a double for her, which, that's a single for her, which keeps her right in that match. See, Tristan uses that full of 3, 4, 5, so it's really 5 running steps, and wow! Glad you got the 5-pin out there, because that was a totally different kind of 7-10. That was almost the solid sour apple there.
Something going on with that lane, because a couple matches ago, Jacob Miller left that same lead and the 5 barely fell out.
Yeah, when they play the deep inside shot, even with all the power these bowlers have, if the pins are a little off spot, you can leave these 5-7, 5-10 combos. But that 5-7-10 would have been embarrassing right there. Let's see if he can make the first 7-10 ever. Yeah, gave it a try. But dueling 8 outs gives Spacey an 18-pin lead as a result early. Tristan did plenty of damage himself today, going plus 298. And opposite of Tanner, he did most of his damage in the semifinals with a low 700 series there. Vaulting him up to the number 3 position. He's won 2 matches in the step ladder so far. Beat Jacob Miller in round 2 and then over Alex Earl in round 3.
He's got one really good
5-shot full and a, wow, 3 shots in a row. These are high revolution bowlers, folks, and almost 3 7-10s in a row. It's getting near Halloween, getting a little spooky down there in the back 3 feet of the lane right now. My goodness. That was Jacob Miller's first top 5 with this one. Tristan beat him, and he also beat Jeremy Witt in round 1 of the finals. Jeremy threw the only perfect game of the day today on a pretty high scoring pattern. So yeah, got his first 300 game on JBT before he got his first title on JBT. Poor Jeremy Witt remains titleless. Tanner had front 9 today. Front 10 today?
288.
For a 288 high game, game 3. Tanner has the interesting stat that he has not bowled a 300 game in North America, but he has bowled a 300 game in Europe. His coach Ty was the former coach of the Czech national team, and he did a sort of European tour this year and fired a perfecto over there. There you go, shreds that rack. When you have a high revolution rate bowlers like both of these guys are on a house shot, you've got to chase the oil left. Now we haven't had a re-oil since the start of the second qualifying squad. We had 2 blocks today, so we had 5 games with 7 and 8 on a pair at the start. And then you had 3 more games with 6 on a pair. Now this is the 4th game of the step ladder, so the lanes have broken down a lot. That means the bowlers are in very, very deep right now. They've been deeper than this. So Tanner's standing right around the 40 board, right around the left gutter. He's looking between 4th and 5th arrow, not trying to belly it out much, just playing that fade shot, right like that. But when you do chase in that oil, sometimes you hit uncharted territory where not a lot of bowlers have been all day. There are hardly any lefties today, so no one's really crossed that area of the lane. So you start to see a little over-under thing going on. And I think that's what's going on right now for both of these bowlers.
Get that one.
And if you combine that with not really catching it well at the end, that's what you leave. Tricky things like 2-4-5s and 7-10s. Nice job at the spare though, that's always choppable. But maintains that 18-pin lead through 6 frames.
Close to that. Somewhat close. Jessica's got 15 pins. 17.
Bubnich up by 17, as Evan said, in the women's series. Michaela can cut it to 7 if she can double up in the 9th over there. You got to win 3 of these women's series matches to get into the girls' TPC next August. Michaela has 1. I'm going to go out on a limb and say she wins
A few.
more than 3.
Courtney could stop
But
it.
there's an awful lot of female talent up here, for sure. Nice shot by Curtis. He's going to need to consolidate that into a double here in the 7th. We'll see if he gets it. Here's Michaela working on that strike in the 9th.
She's looking like a lot more. But that was the practice there. So
Michaela's got guy power on the ball if she wants it. That is meant to be a compliment if you don't know Michaela.
These guys are playing in, and
Yeah.
she's letting the ball out to 5.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Curtis using a lot more belly than Tanner is. His break point is just about that far rangefinder out there. That ball hits that. That's pretty about where it needs it.
Yeah, it's out of bounds outside of 8.
Right over the target. Yeah,
that was perfect. Like you said, the target line.
Nice double from Curtis, and good spare from Michaela, but she's going to need help from Jessica here to win this match. Jessica, out of the handicap division, actually the higher seed today. She went plus 85 scratch, while Michaela was plus 70 something scratch. So
did a video of the hostess.
Thanks to her, Mrs. Kent and the whole Kent family.
That's what you get for coming in.
This is where the Marshall Kent legend began, folks. No, she hated that. Boy, holy cow.
She's like, ooh, cool. I like how you guys do that.
Spare working for Spacey, leading by 8 now. Ah, beautiful shot from Tanner there.
I told her what you said about putting Marshall Kent's headshot on.
Yeah, there should just, like, there's these 3 little sections of the wall. They should have the logo here where they do, and then on either side there's this gigantic Marching Camp head.
She said that'd be a little too much.
That's amazing that a junior gold champion came out of this very nice but tiny little 16-lane center in a tiny little town. Now Michaela bowling out of here. She could easily win junior gold sometime in her career.
Yeah, definitely.
Huge shot here, obviously, for Spacey. 8th frame now, double working, can re-extend to 18. Whoa, whoa. Ah, got the carry. Bubnich in her 10th frame. Lose by 15. She'll spare, if she can spare that, rather, for 223, which would shut out, right?
Yep.
So spare to win. Spare and good count to win.
Spare 7.
I'm going to stay with this segment until the end of the women's match, then you can catch part 2 to watch the end of the scratch match. Both bowlers look comfortable now. It's who's going to outstrike the other in scratch. There it is, 10 in the pit. I think they got, you know, it's funny the difference between carrying strikes and bowling and getting those 8s and 9s.
Spare to win.
Ooh, spare not to win for Jessica. Both bowlers of Tristan and Tanner's Talent have figured out that little fine tune to go from 9 counts to strikes, and I think it's just going to be who's going to not get unlucky the rest of the way in scratch. Bubnich misses that spare for 212. Michaela's going to have to strike, and then the 4 pins will be academic after that. Strike twice, rather, and get the 4 pins to win the tournament. Curtis, 9th frame, working on the 3-bagger. A little wider. Oh, wow. Just a pinch wider, and again the 10 is stubborn. Good shot, but 2 or 3 boards wider at the break point made the difference. Douglas has to strike to stay alive.
Definitely. 1.
Oh, high hit, disappointment, and Jessica Bubnich captures the Women's Series title today. Holy cow. Redemption from her handicap division title match loss. Michaela is too competitive. She will not accept that result. Look out for her tomorrow.
Got a chance to win it.
But it's a great thing for the girl. Yeah, she had her chance, and that's a great thing for the girls to get this constant match play experience in every tournament, no matter where they finish up in the regular tournament. The girls seem to really like this, the way we're doing Women's Series this year, and I kind of like it too. Ah, boy, 12 and a half minutes. Can we finish this in 15? We're going to try.
That's all the battery you have left?
No, it's just like the YouTube max. 212 to 206, big win for me.
Oh, we're not going to finish it.
Oh, whoa.
That's 2 minutes away.
If the first messenger didn't get it, that one would right there. He sends the double messenger over there.
40 seconds away.
Well, if he gets this strike, it's not going to matter. Curtis can max for 217. Spacey 9 spare strikes for 25, right?
Spare is 25. Yep.
So any mark and Spacey wins. Of course, that was the situation Jessica was in about a minute and a half ago, and that didn't go so well. Yet she escaped. I don't want to jinx them. I don't want to predict. I think this ball is going to be in the 1-3. It's just a matter where the pins are going to fall. For a second title. Oh! Wow, that 10-pin got stubborn on both these bowlers. Well, Jessica needed mark to win and left a 10-pin and missed it. Tanner needs a mark to win, left a 10-pin and ...
Gets it.
It's got great fundamentals, hard and straight at it. Shouldn't be a problem, but title match pressure. Lock it up. There you go. Counts academic. Tanner Spacey's going to win title number 2. Boy, he owned this tournament the first 5 games, kind of let it slip away from him a little bit in the semifinals. Said, I will not let it slip away in game 8 of the semifinals. Re-grabbed that lead. That's why it's so important to be the top seed. As often as you see top seeds lose title matches and you're like, geez, they did all that work just to lose 1 game, it's still so valuable to only have to bowl that 1 game for the title. As Tristan did so much good work to get to the title match, but just ran into a tough customer in Mr. Spacey. 225 wins it. Great job by 2 talented bowlers. We'll do it all over again in Yakima tomorrow morning. A big high five from Coach Ty. And number 2. Hey, there you go.